Hello everybody, it's your residential brickologist Lego Lee here with another throwback Lego Star Wars The Clone Wars set review. Today we're going back to the year 2009 to take a closer look at set number 7752, Count Dooku's Solar Sailor. This set has 385 pieces and it was a limited edition Toys R Us exclusive back in the day where it retailed for $55 US, adjusted for inflation, that's about $75 here in 2023. Here is a front look at a very large box, and the back of the box shows off some of the playability functions of this set. Also included, of course, is an instruction manual with 49 pages of building, and towards the back there are some very cool advertisements for the Winter Wave with a really nice poster. And speaking of said wave, here it is all laid out. I love this image. Not my favorite wave ever, but I still really want this set. That's been on my bucket list for a long time. Never gotten around to getting it, so if someone wants to tell me that, hit me up. Unlike a lot of Lego Star Wars sets, there's actually two distinct vehicle builds here and 4 minifigs. Let's look at those figures here first. The first minifigure included with this set, of course, is Count Dooku himself, sporting that awesome chrome curved lightsaber. I love that piece. The rest of this figure is kind of okay. The torso print looks decent to me. The face print is obviously that old weird Lego Clone Wars style, and look, it's a good approximation of the way he looks in the Clone Wars show, but he looks like a complete buffoon in that show, so I don't particularly like it. And he also has the old style of crinkly cape, and I'll explain why this one in particular is so creased in a minute. It's a cool figure. It'll run you about $26. Luckily, he does come in like a magnet set. He also came in the Malevolent set, so he's not super hard to find, but it's also great to always get Count Dooku. 2 of them Magna Guards are included in this set. They're pretty neat. I already kind of raved about this figure in my review for the Magna Guard Starfighter, so if you want to hear me talk more about them, check that out. But they are great, and they will run you over $30 despite coming in 2 not super expensive sets. They're just that cool. Lego, remake them, please. Last and certainly least this time is the pilot droid, who's basically just a backwards battle droid body with a backwards skeleton leg for a head. Yeah, sure, Lego. As we transition into looking at the vehicles of this set here, I have a quick disclaimer. This set is old. The stickers fell off over time. I'm missing a couple of random pieces and had to replace them with parts that aren't the exact same color, and one piece in particular is chipped. Just wanted to get that out of the way before I got roasted in the comments. The significantly smaller of the 2 vehicles here is Count Dooku on his trusty speeder bike. This vehicle has been made a couple of times by Lego, the first in 2002 to coincide with the release of Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and the second was in 2013. This is the only version specifically from the Clone Wars animated series, and I gotta say, it looks very flat and kind of meh. The shaping is fine, but look, it's so flat on the bottom. It looks very awkward. I do like how Count Dooku can sit and there is space for his cape. That is cool. There also is storage for his lightsaber, so that's nice, but really this thing lacks detail. It lacks any great shaping. It's just kind of a mediocre build. A build that's hopefully not so mediocre, of course, is the Solar Sailor itself. The only full-scale version of this ship Lego has ever made in the 21 years since its debut in Attack of the Clones. That's kind of wild to think about. Brown and dark tan are the main colors used here. Not the most attractive in the world, but it is kind of an interesting break from the normal dark gray and light gray of Star Wars, but of course this set has plenty of that to spare. And speaking of gray, one of the focal points of this build are the giant old TIE Fighter cockpit pieces in opaque light gray. Very interesting color to get those pieces in, and there are 2 of them at the back of this ship, and they actually activate one of the coolest functions of this set. You can simply open up these to reveal the interior. which is kind of a blank hole with some Technic builds. There's really nothing to see inside there, but you can take Count Dooku on his speeder bike and slide the whole build inside. It's a little bit finicky at first, but it does fit, and this does close over him, which is very, very cool, and you can kind of see the Count inside there. Now, unfortunately, there is no windscreen of any kind at the back here, similar to the Twilight, which I reviewed a couple of months ago. They kind of just approximate the windscreen with a big hole, which is a little bit annoying, but other than that, it works out pretty nicely. Unfortunately, there is a big flaw here. You might have heard this noise, but when you close these two pieces, it tends to kind of crinkle up Count Dooku's cape, the one they work so hard around to fit onto the speeder bike, which is very unfortunate because the old style of Lego cape is very prone to creasing, so that is not great. Everything else works out pretty well, but that is extremely unfortunate. The side profile of the ship is actually pretty good, and I like the unique, very bug-like shaping these pieces used here, not only in dark gray but also in brown, bring a lot of pizzazz to this design. I like them quite a bit. You may have also noticed the purple little ends right here. Well, those are of course Flickfire missiles. What 2009 set would be complete without them? But there's actually a very good function to activate these. The actuator is right here. You simply just push on those and it will launch 2 Flickfire missiles at the same time. The exact same function is repeated on the other side. That is one of the better uses of the Flick missile in an older Lego Star Wars set. Another thing I really like here are the landing gear. It's actually just this kind of weird rotor ski piece that's been around for a long time in Lego, and it's attached on very simply, but they rotate in and out, so you can actually close them in like this, and it works out very nicely. And then to activate them, you basically just rotate them out, lower them down, and these pieces kind of hold the thing up. And look at that! That looks really good, it's very accurate, and it's very stable. That is a simple but extremely effective design. Now we can move towards the cockpit of this vehicle, which is somewhat hard to access without basically showing off the main play feature of this set. So I'm going to show you guys the main feature and then finish off with the cockpit. With those landing gear folded up, here is how you can turn this thing into flight mode. Basically what you do is grab these pieces here, which are on some hinges, and they open up like so. It's very simple, but pretty effective, and it gives off a really unique and interesting look, especially from this angle. That is very well done and fun to play with. I like this quite a bit. With these top parts folded all the way up, you can lower down the bulbous cockpit piece right here to pull out this strange little contraption that is holding the pilot droid. He's kind of crammed in there, and frankly, it's kind of an ugly design. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's very cramped and very weird. I feel like this could have been done a lot better. As I begin my transition towards the final verdict segment of this review, I want to admire how good this thing looks in its landed mode. And this is how I'm going to display this set. I obviously don't really play with my Lego anymore. I display Lego, and this thing looks great on display. It's pretty accurate to the source material. The designs, the shaping are all pretty well done, and it holds up well here in 2023. I like this quite a bit. On the flip side, this thing is also a pretty good set for play. There's lots of moving pieces. The flick missiles work fantastically. You can deploy an entire speeder bike out the back of this thing. I mean, seriously, the play value seems great. So you're probably like, Lee, why do you seem a little bit hesitant towards the end of this review? That's because this is Count Dooku's Solar Sailor, emphasis on the word sail. This thing ain't got no sail, man. They designed the entire base of the vehicle, had the function for the kind of tentacle sections to open up, and then did literally nothing to approximate the sail. Now look, I get it. The sail is a very strange sci-fi design in universe. It would be really difficult to form in Lego. I feel like they could probably use either the pieces they use, like the cloth for the pirate sails, or the parts they use in vinyl for like the wings on the Avatar creatures. I feel like those could be used to make the sail, and those existed back in 2009. But LEGO just decided to do literally nothing. They didn't even do the bare minimum. They did literally nothing, which is just kind of ridiculous to me. You get this set for the Solar Sailor, and it doesn't even include the actual solar sail. That is just inexcusable. So yeah, that's a pretty big flaw if you ask me. However, there's still quite a lot to like about this set, and I'm happy to actually have this vehicle on display on my shelf because this is the only version we've ever gotten of it, and there aren't really any signs LEGO is going to remake it, so I'm glad to have this ship in particular. Now we can kind of pivot and talk about the value of this set. This set was not a very good value back when it was released. $55 for only 385 pieces. Nuh-uh, that's a really bad price to part ratio. Adjusted for inflation, that's $75, which makes it way, way worse. However, things are gonna get even worse for you if you want this set today, because used, this thing is gonna run you over $100, and completely sealed, yeah, you're probably gonna have to pay about $225 for that bucko. That's very unfortunate. The price of this set is not good. However, if you are a humongous LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars or prequel era fan, I would still recommend this set because this is one of the more iconic vehicles from that era, and this is literally your only option at this moment in time to get one in LEGO form. So because of that, I would still kind of recommend this, but only if you have a good bit of disposable income. So bringing all of that nonsense together, it's time for my final rating on this set. This is the definition of a mixed bag. I'm leaning a little bit more positive, so I'm gonna give this set here a 6 out of 10. Those are just my thoughts though. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, while you're at it, hit that bell, subscribe to my channel, comment on this video, share this video with all of your friends, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, week, month, whatever. God bless, peace out, bye-bye.